Welcome back to another video on Gearsaw Studios, and today I'm going to show you how to build a fancy pumpkin patch. So you can collect your pumpkins in style and not very efficiently. However, before I begin, remember, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out. And with that, onto the palette. So, we're not going to be using many blocks here. We're going to be using podzol and packed mud along with a little bit of dirt and rooted dirt, probably, for our paths going through the field, which need to be relatively flat like this. We're going to have some cobblestone and mossy cobblestone acting as some boulders, just blocking the way, so that way you can't just run into there normally. And we have some spruce planks, so that way we have something to hang lanterns off of. We can also use tree stumps, so spruce logs could also be an addition. But you're for sure going to be using these. And with your flat area, you want to make just a rough shape. And don't make it like any normal shape. Don't make it a circle, don't make it a triangle or a square. Make it something odd. With our odd shape in place, we now have a frame for our outside build. And because it's outside, a normal shape like a circle or a square would just look awkward. So, we now have just some rocks around. And what we really want to do now is we want to build something similar to this right here. So you can see we have some rocks surrounding this pond. Now pretend the pond is just a field, and you can see what I have going on here. Some lanterns, some slabs. So basically do this. And I would recommend making it a little bit taller and a little bit wider, but it's perfectly fine if you don't necessarily want to do that because this looks good on its own. We now have the majority of this build done. We literally just have some rocks. And to be honest, these rocks look really good, and you can add them to literally like any build ever. So, of course, making small changes here and there is always necessary with building, and we need to make an entrance. So, nothing complicated for now, but essentially we just want to have this little frame right here. So, of course, not too detailed yet, but it's something to signify the entrance. And from there, we can have our paths going out. And you want to replace the ground, the edges with some packed mud. And make sure that there are no corners like this, because if you do that, then the inside dirt will get turned into grass, and that will not look good, especially with the combination of the rooted dirt. So, continue this all the way around, and once you reach a dead end, that's the end, unless you have enough room to loop back. We have a path now, and it's looking pretty bland. It needs just rooted dirt, and that's about it, as it's only a nice dirt path. For the entrance, you can just double layer it, so triple layer in total, by increasing the middle one's size by 1 block on both parts, and replicating the original design in here. So, we now have a proper entrance, can place a lantern there, and our path is looking pretty decent. So you should now include just little pieces of rooted dirt going through. So kind of like this. Doesn't have to be completely continuous, but the more interlaced it looks, the better. And with enough work, you now have a better looking path. And it looks like there's some pumpkin roots going through. Also, you should include a tree at some point inside of it, so just a normal spruce tree will do the job. And for the actual pumpkins, place down a water bucket, and replace the bottom part with dirt, then till the area surrounding it. So, remember, it's 4 blocks square, so 9 blocks in diameter, so you have quite a bit of space to work with. So, maybe 4 or 5 pumpkins per water piece, and that will be a pretty good density. So scatter a couple of those around, and we're getting close to completion. With the pumpkins and tree in, it's starting to look really nice in here, although it's still missing a couple of things. So, for one, we can have a scarecrow in here. So, a fence with a hay bale, 2 more fences, carved pumpkin, scarecrow. And it's just a scarecrow. Not really much to get from it. Then, you can place down some logs and put lanterns on it so that way zombies don't interrupt it or a creeper blows up everything. So, 3 lanterns should do the job unless you're on an older version. In that case, I recommend probably about 6. And, of course, light level 0 is needed to spawn mobs. However, Skyway actually follows a different rule, so just place down as much as you can without making it look weird. And, yeah, we have it pretty good in here. And the final thing we need is podzol, because pumpkin growing probably takes up a lot of nutrients, and used up soil becomes podzol. And that's why the giant spruce trees create podzol. So, replace some of the ground with podzol around, and we'll be done. With our podzol, we are now done here. Albeit it's a very, very small pumpkin patch. It's pretty cool. And upscale it a bit, and you have a really nice thing you can add to your Halloween town. Perhaps it could even replace parts of just the normal landscape if you're doing that. So, just imagine being on a chilly fall night here, and it would be quite nice. And, of course, you can get pumpkins from it, so it's not completely a burden of space. So, if you want to celebrate the Halloween spirit, or just want a more fashionable way to have your pumpkin set, then I highly recommend building this. So, with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So, with that, take care, and also, don't forget about our missions table, because, it's a good place to record an outro. Gearsaw out.